Alright, so I'm going to talk a little bit about matted prints, or prints in general. They don't have to be matted. You know, the mat is actually this border. It's kind of like a cardboard material that goes around the print. And a lot of artists don't even bother making prints of their work. They want the originals to be so original that only one person has them. But for me and a lot of people, we like to get our work out around the world. And for me, I'd like people to learn from my artwork. So matted prints, they make these great gifts. They're light, they can travel easy, you can send them easy. When people get them, or you could even choose to do this yourself, you can just pop them in a frame. Yeah, somebody's going to love you for that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a little bit about the components or the parts of the matted print. You can see right here we have a plastic sleeve, and I'm going to open this up. You want to get the kind that has the adhesive on the back of the sleeve, not on the flap. If you have the adhesive on the flap, it can cause a lot of damage sticking to prints and stuff, okay? And if I take off this sleeve, we have the print itself, we have the mat, and this is a single mat. You can also do double mats. We have the backing. This is a foam core that I use. There's different kinds of backings you can use. Foam core is a little thicker, so it fills the sleeve a little better. This part right here is called the print back, and that's where I keep the information about what's in the picture, a little bit about myself, and my contact information. Okay, now I'm going to show you a little bit about what you're going to need to make a matted print. Okay, first of all, you're going to need your print, and this I do on a certain type of paper. There's different kinds of papers you can use. The kind of paper I use with the kind of inks I use really last. They don't fade, and I'll tell you, I use a premium luster Epson photo paper with Artanium inks, and I can show you the exact models of the printers that I use, and they'll be changing during the duration of time. So you got your print done on a paper of your choice, and you have your mat. This is a single mat. It has one color. We have a double mat. You can have triple mats, quadruple, any kind of mats you like, okay? But the best mats are made with what we call an acid-free or a white core. And if you want to come and zoom into this a little bit, where the mats are cut and a cut is made, you don't want that turning yellow over time. That's really going to limit the shelf life of your print. So make sure you get what's called a white core or a acid-free mats, okay? Now the next component you need is a backing. I like to use foam core, usually about 1/8 of an inch thick. Some people will just use a mat board, same material as their mats are made out of. You're going to have a sleeve or a plastic clear coat, and again, get those that have the adhesive on the back of the sleeve itself, not on the flap. No flap adhesive, okay? That's the stuff that gets stuck on the prints. The kind of tools I use are an ATG or a double-sided tape dispenser. Sometimes you don't even need the dispenser, you can just use the tape. I use white artist tape. This tape does not break over time, so the prints aren't going to fall apart and sag in your matted prints. I use a little tape dispenser, a double-sided tape dispenser to put my print backs onto the foam core. I used to just let them flap around, and they would come and be in all kinds of positions when the people buy it. Sometimes they go around the print and you see a little bit out of the front side of the print. So I decided to put a little piece of tape and tape them to the back of the foam core. Of course, I got my signing pen for my autograph, and a pretty valuable tool, a kneaded eraser, because you know what? You get so many mats, and some of them are going to have specks, or you might get a smudge of dirt or something. And honestly, I throw away too many mats. I'm ashamed to show you mat pile of just tiny little specks of dust that make it unsaleable. So this little kneaded eraser or a magic eraser, make sure you don't get an eraser that makes an abrasion or causes a different surface look. Like some erasers will leave a lot of crumbs. They'll also make the surface kind of shiny. So be conscious to keep everything very clean, keep your hands clean. You don't want oil smudges, you don't want specks of dirt. And there's a lot of opportunities for you to ruin this print, okay? You can do it in the printing, you can make mistakes. You can do it in the taping, you can make mistakes. The ATG, you can make mistakes. Things get bent, bumped. It's all about being conscious and aware of what you're doing around you. If you want to really limit the amount of throwaways, amount of waste of materials and money and time, just be as sharp as you can going in. Alright, so now pretty quickly I'm going to show you how I go about assembling a matted print. Okay, I get my print, I got my mats, I got my backings and supplies, and here's how I do it. Come. Okay, so now I'm actually going to show you how I go about hanging a print. I'm just going to tear a couple of pieces of this artist tape, and you want to use this good white artist tape. I'm going to put the pieces of tape, one at the corner and one about here, okay? And then I'll put it down and put a mat over it, making sure that there's no white parts of the print showing. Okay, that's a big mistake in that sometimes people leave a little white showing. That's a no-no, okay? So be alert and pay attention about that. I'm going to go and press down at where the tape is or where I think it is. And then I'm going to turn it around and really give it a good fingernailing in the back there, okay? You want this to hold well. You don't want to come to a store in a couple of months and see your matted print with the, the thing shifted or the white showing, okay? The reason we hang a mat on the top and a little bit on the side, we don't put tape here on the sides or the bottom. In case the weather starts to turn humid, sometimes paper will buckle like that. You don't want anything binding. You want it free to grow and contract a little bit over here. Okay, so that's how we go about taping a print to the mat. Okay, now I'm going to show you what this double-sided tape called ATG tape does. And this is a dispenser ATG gun, we call it. I don't know what ATG stands for, automatic transfer gun. That sounds good enough to me. I'll put a little 1-inch piece right around there, a little 1-inch piece right around there. And with this device, you press down hard and you pull towards yourself and you let go, and that releases the tape, okay? So you're putting little 1-inch pieces. We don't want to put too much, because I tell you what, disassembling these prints is a reality in life. Sometimes you got to take them apart. And if you put too much of that double-sided tape, it can be really sticky. Now, you see in the glare, can you see the tape there? Okay. Once we got that done, we're going to mount it onto a foam core. And the foam core, I usually use the 1/8 inch foam core. The most important part of this print is going to be right here on the top. Okay, that's the most visible area when it's showing on the racks in the stores. You just go and press down where the tape is. Okay, and there you have it, a matted print and backing. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what happens when we have to replace the ATG tape. This gun, you can see how old it is, how well used it is. But replacing it can be a big boggle on your mind. This dispenser, if you pinch this in, that last of the tape roll will come out. You also got to take out all of this spent tape backing. Whee! Throw that away. We get the new tape. And here's the tricky part. This is a double-sided tape. It has a bit of a leader. Think backwards now, where things have to end up. We want the sticky part, feel for it, okay? We want the sticky part to end up right here, yeah? So let's think back from the point of contact of our paper, loop it around there, and then we'll put it right into the gun, okay? Take a look at this now. There's the beginning of the sticky part right there. We want that touching outside, yeah? Sticky part outside. This little roller doesn't grab the tape. You just find your position right here. There we go. Okay, now we come back around with this edge, go around the top of it, and we tuck it into the little area here that holds it, okay? And then we'll get something like a scissors or a fingernail and just cut it off. Okay, go ahead and put your cap back right there, and you're ready to go, okay? Okay, now I'm going to show you how I go about signing this, and there's no big secret to that. I got a super secret signing pen right there. He even has my name on it. But you just find a pencil or a pen that you like. I'm going to put the signature there, Bali High Sunset, quotation marks, and then my signature. Now you may think that's nice and simple, but there's actually some tricks to keeping your mind clear when you're signing your name, and depends what you're listening to or to who you're talking to. You might actually make a mistake on that, but there it is. Bali High Sunset, Patrick Ching. Speaking of signing, boy, I ever tell you one time I had to go like sign my name like 22,000 times. Yeah, it took me 8 days of signing my name. In fact, they sent me out to Illinois to sign a stamp I designed, and they would feed me sheets of stamps day after day. And let me tell you, it's not your hands that give way first. It's definitely your mind that goes out before your body. Next, I'm going to go and put a print back, okay? This is a little tape dispenser, a two-sided tape dispenser. I used to just have them loose, but now I'm glad that I do tape them and keep them centered in there. When cutting your print backs, it's good to use a tool designed for cutting. If you just use a scissors, you're going to come up with some raggedy edges, and that's not nice. Lastly, I'm going to get a plastic sleeve. And here's an important thing about putting these in the plastic sleeve. It's just like kind of a pillow. First of all, I always keep the open end on the left side. That's in case I want to open quickly and be able to sign something there, like to Mary or something like that. Okay, just tuck in the little corner. Tell you what, if you do thousands of these, you're going to get good at it. Being careful not to hang up the back, print back. Okay. Sliding it in. Think about how it's going to sit on the shelf too, folks. If you have a vertical design that's going upright on the shelf, you want this flap to come over the top. You don't want the flap to come up the bottom. There's a good reason for that. In the shelf life in stores, dust falls into this little pouch right there if you have it on the bottom. So you want this flap to be on the left side opening, or in a case of a vertical print, you want it on the top. When you adhere them, you take off this little strip, grab these two edges with your fingers and pull them down and out, okay? Getting it as nice and tight and as good looking as you can. Bing! Down and away, okay? Down and away. Here we go. There you have it, a matted print. Once you get your prints done, there's all kinds of other aspects of becoming a professional artist. You have to get them to the stores some way by either delivering them or mailing them, but it's really a rewarding feeling once you get them shipped off. Well, thank you for letting me show you how I do my matted prints. It's really one of the most joyous times about having your own business and knowing that your work's getting out there to the world. Aloha.